Welcome. This is Loose Lines and Warm-Ups. Welcome to my guest, Océane.
Hi.
Thank you for joining.
Well, thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Hello, Anna. I can start to see people coming in. This is exciting. I'm just going to, while we wait for people to come in, I'm just going to fill you all in on the slight drama of today. I thought we were traveling to Prague tomorrow. And so I had all of this set up and planned. Turns out we were traveling to Prague today. So I was messaging Océane saying, we're going to make it, don't worry. But actually, we got stuck in traffic. So we've made a bit of a detour. I'm now in the hotel, a lobby of a hotel, jumping on and doing the live. So this is not my usual setup. I've got a little travel kit with me, but we've made it. We're here. So thank you for managing my panic, Océane.
That's okay.
Frantic messages on the way. So yeah, and also thank you to my husband for believing that we could still do this and make it happen. So I see Hippo is here. I see Teresa is here. Bianca is here. Hello, everyone. Welcome. And let me introduce you to Océane. Océane is a member of my community here and has been from the beginning of the year when I started kicking off with the project, what I called Project 5, because we committed to a year of 5 projects together, which I've been running. And you've been part of this from the beginning of this year, which is amazing. And I wanted to invite you on because I want to invite on members of the community to talk a little bit about what you're doing. And also because you're doing your own, ja, später, ist okay? Bitte, danke. I'm in a hotel. Oh no.
Oh dear. They were fixing the lights and then now they're vacuuming. Yeah.
Can you hear the vacuuming?
Slightly. It's like I don't know, like a white noise in the background.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
Okay, well I have a mic. I'm really hoping that it's going to be a quick vacuum. Backtrack to anyone that just joined. I'm in a hotel lobby in a basement. We're jumping on this and there's vacuuming in the background. Yeah. Apology. It won't take long. So I'm hoping that my mic is going to override it. Hello, Charlotte. Let me know if it gets really bad and I'll pause. But yeah.
It is. I mean, you have to see the funny side, right?
No, I thought I was winning today. I thought I thought, you know what, we made it on time. And then like this lovely electrician has to vacuum. Oh, goodness. Anyway. We've been doing Project 5. We've done 2 projects. We're on to the 3rd one. My whole thinking with this is that we do a little introduction to bid fees. So that's been my thinking with the projects. And my approach so far has been, here's a load of information. Go ahead and construct the project, and here are some guidelines for that. Now, with this project, I'm actually doing it a little bit differently in the sense that I am hoping to be a little bit more structured with the way that we're working so that we can work to the same sets of references in our lives and then use those elements to construct our project the way that we want to construct it. So by the end of the 2 months, you will have a whole bunch of images. And our warm-ups that we do in the lives are a way of literally just kind of getting into the flow a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can go on mute, and I'd love, Océane, for you to talk a little bit about your work and your platform. And hopefully by then the vacuum will be done.
All right, this is me. Hi everyone. Yes, so like Raj said, I've been on her membership since the beginning of the year, and we've been working through Project 5. So we've done 2 already, which I've really enjoyed. I think for me, it was I work full time. I have a very boring office job, and I've been trying to build my portfolio for the past few years and just try different things and play. And but at the same time, I wanted to use the project as a way to try different things, but also maybe like find kind of my style, my voice, kind of like illustration wise, what to add to a portfolio on my website and stuff like that. So it's been great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's taken me out of my comfort zone, especially with the self portrait stuff that we did. But yeah, it's been really nice. Apart from that, so yeah, I've when I started drawing in 2001 ish, 2000, 2000 and yeah, 20, yeah, just around COVID time. And I started making patterns. So that's how I was doing kind of stationery, so cards, and I had an online shop for a while, which I closed down, and then I kind of fell in love with pattern design, which I did mostly digitally on my iPads, and then kind of, yeah, like I said, kind of started, really think about what my voice was, in terms of my illustrations and what I like doing. And then, well, I've been on Substacks for just over a year. I have a creative membership on there,
Mhm.
so I'm on top of everything else. I feel like there's a lot of things that I like doing. So I like writing as well, and I studied screenwriting at university and kind of let that go. I tried to write for a while and then it didn't work out. And Substack kind of brought all of the stuff that I'd put aside for a
Mhm.
long time, and kind of like it made me want to embrace all the different sides of my creativity. So not only just drawing and pattern design, but also writing fiction and writing non-fictions and all of that. It kind of opened up this box of creativity. And I run a membership which is called the Curious Magpie, and I I give out my members a free, like a weekly prompt. So I believe that creativity is kind of, or art is not just drawing. So I feel like it's all about being curious and being inquisitive and noticing things that you wouldn't normally notice and things like that. So the prompts I give out can be like photography prompts or drawing prompts, or even things like just, I don't know, going for a walk and just looking up and seeing what's above your eyesight. There's quite a few reflective prompts as well, and kind of mindset things, because sometimes your mind just blocks you from doing the things that you really want to do. Um, we meet monthly as well. We do drawing sessions, kind of like what Raj is doing with these, kind of these sessions where you warm up and stuff like that. I use reference images,
Mhm.
and on the theme we draw together. So I don't know, one month we do kitchen utensils, which is probably the most boring thing ever, but I found these amazing reference images, really colorful, ladles and cutleries and stuff like that. So we drew that
Yeah.
for an hour, which was really fun actually. And yeah, so I'm trying to, obviously grow my Substack and get more people involved, in being creative, even if it's just, for 20 minutes a week.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
better than nothing.
absolutely. Yeah.
And but yeah, in the same time, kind of just exploring all of that, all of this creativity I've got locked up in here.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what I find really interesting about what you're bringing, because on the one hand, you're exploring a style, you're trying to find what's emerging in your visual voice, but you're not putting any kind of parameters on it. You're really being exploratory and you're being really playful. And that's something which I think is really fundamental to kind of making those discoveries. Because actually, when I've seen the work you've done in the community, even only over the two projects, I'm starting to really see something that feels like it's yours. I'm like, oh, yeah, it makes
You've
sense that you've
mentioned
done,
that. Yeah, you've
yeah,
mentioned
like
that. And I'm
some
like,
of the sort
oh.
of, yeah, the pattern elements that came through in your self-portrait. I recognize sort of the influence that you've got of the passion for making patterns, and pattern design. And the way that those things weave together without you almost even realizing, I think
Mm.
is something which we can't always see that
Yeah,
ourselves, which is
we
why it's
can't.
always really good to do this sort of work in community and to have a chance to share and have a chance to have a
Oh,
bit of a dialogue
and it's
around
been
this
so
because you just don't.
inspiring watching
Yeah,
other people's projects and how, the same theme is
yeah,
interpreted differently through, we all have different brains and we're all working out a different way of doing what the brief you've set was.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
find that amazing.
Yeah, it's so motivating. And so I've been really excited about seeing the work that you've been doing, which is another reason I wanted to invite you on. And I love the sort of multi-passionate approach that you've got to your substance. I think that we live in a world where we're always being told to be really specific about who's our niche, what is it that you want to
I'm just
put out, and it
so
drives me nuts.
tired of the word
Yeah,
niche. I mean, I'm
yeah,
so
me too.
tired of it. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I've actually written a children's book and I write flash fiction. I've become obsessed with flash fiction. Last year I discovered the world of flash fiction. I've never what is this?
Yeah,
A story that takes, 300 words. How can you write a
yeah.
story in 300 words? I was like, oh, this is intriguing. So I'm writing
Wow.
that and but then I'm writing, children's fiction as well. And I'm like, and I mean, my mother will say, you do too much. Um, and then, but at the
Yep.
same time, I feel like I go where my mood kind of takes me. And I like having all of these different kind of pockets of things that I
Yeah.
enjoy doing. And for now, I'm not saying, I'm never going to niche, but for now, that's what speaks to me, I guess.
Yeah, totally. So I wanted to ask you, you were talking about patterns and you were
I was,
showing me before
yes.
we came on that you had a sheet of paper prepped. So please talk us
Yeah.
through your approach to that.
So we're gonna be drawing mushrooms, but I
Yeah.
thought I'd turn my little like loose mushrooms into a pattern, so an analog one. So this is a square. You need a square paper. So it's just an A4 that I've cut so that it's 21 by 21 everywhere. And just the very basic way of explaining how a repeat pattern works is that you just kind of obviously I'll be doing this later, but you kind of just fold this in the middle
Yeah.
and then you fold it again on the other, and then you just fold it again, so you end up with a square within a square here.
Right.
And the idea is that whatever you draw on this side, oh well, it'll be much easier when I show it. We'll
Hmm.
just end up on. So if I have half a mushroom on this side, the other half will be on this side.
Right.
And then this is kind of how you tile a repeat pattern. So when you have,
Yeah.
obviously fabric, wallpaper, loads of stuff, they're just kind of like, so you can't, depending on how you do your pattern, you really shouldn't be able to see where the original tile is. It's kind of
Yep. So it's really seamless.
is seamlessly repeated. So some people I know, they actually like they use scissors and they cut and then they tape things together. I like folding,
Mm.
and you could always. I'm probably going to do this later. Like scan this, and then kind of digitalize it if you wanted, and really turn it into so you could see it being repeated properly. But yeah, I thought I'd try that.
Great. Because so let's do this then. Let's flip it over because I would love for you to fill that tile in our quick session and like
Yep.
don't worry about it being perfect because I would love to see how it comes together at the end.
Yeah, let's
And
do that.
yeah, I'm going to just quickly share what I'm
Let me
using.
just.
I've got this very small pencil case that I've bought on this trip, and we've just reached Prague. But what's amazing is that you can hold so much in this tiny little thing, and I've managed to squeeze in obviously a rainbow pencil because why would I go anywhere without one? I've got 3 Faber-Castell watercolor pens. These are just some new ones that I've picked up recently. A Blackwing, 2 calligraphy pens, a normal biro type pen, and then one dark indigo and a random watercolor. So I've I've squeezed all of that into
You've got
this
an
tiny little
array
pencil
of
case.
tools to work with.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to end up, aside from this session, I'll probably end up going back home with like No drawings. Let's see. So I'm going to flip over, and apologies to anybody watching in advance because of my setup is not my usual setup at home. I might be a wrong way around or something, but let's just see. Because if you've just joined, I happen to be in a hotel right now. Okay, so um, let's do it like this. Okay, so as we were just saying, maybe if I do it this way around, it might not be so weird. We are drawing mushrooms. I'm going to take the approach of filling a page, just a page. That's going to be my goal for 20 minutes or so while we chat. And this is something which I often do actually, and something I've been doing this year pretty heavily in terms of live sessions that I've been taking part in, particularly with other people's hosted live sessions. I like to just give myself one spread and just fill it. So that works for me. I quite like the lo-fi approach of saying, why don't we just fill a page and that's it? Don't worry about, lots of pieces of paper. Don't worry about, um, yeah, having to sort of move around on your desk
No,
so
I
much.
think that's great. I think it takes the way. I mean, and it's it gets us used to not being precious or aiming to do a perfect drawing. And
Yeah,
I think yeah, and I have I take when I every time I take my son to the playground, my youngest, I take a sketchbook with me and I sketch in the playground, even if it's for 10 minutes. And
yeah,
I bring three pencils and then that's it. And I whatever I do, and it is what it is, right?
absolutely. And, you feel like a winner because you've just done something on a page, and I'm all about the small wins. you know,
Yeah,
um,
no, yeah,
we
absolutely.
are living lives at the moment where we're stealing moments of time. We're always stealing pockets of time just to be able to make for ourselves. And in the context of that, we've just got to congratulate ourselves for anything that happens on a page, I think. So yeah, so for this 2 month session of loose lives and warm ups, I thought it would be really nice to play with the idea of collections. And when we talk about building sort of a series, it's really fun to play with one consistent theme or topic. So in this case, we're doing mushrooms today. Um, and like what I'm interested in while I'm doing this is just the sort of fun, weird, random kind of shapes that can come out of mushrooms and all of these different variations. And I love, love, love layering markers. Um, so I'm kind of rediscovering them a bit lately. What are you working on yours?
Um, yeah, so I'm using my the Neo colors from Caran d'Ache. And yeah, what I just love about mushrooms is you can be really like free with the colors that you use,
Yeah,
because you're kind of turning into magic mushrooms, right?
yeah, exactly. And there's so much kind of narrative and folklore and kind of myth and mystery around mushrooms as well. I just love all of the weird stories that are around fungi and mushrooms. Not to mention all of the incredible scientific stuff that we learn
Yes.
about them and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mycelium networks and all that nut stuff. It's just mind blowing.
No, but you're right. I love the shapes of them. Yeah, they're very strange, but I mean, it's kind of it's really freeing what you can do with them.
Yeah, and all the different varieties. So tell me about your relationship with food. Are you a foodie? Do you like cooking?
I am a
Love to
foodie,
know.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a foodie. Oh, so I'm French, but I live in London. I've lived in London for over 20 years. But yes, I'm a big foodie. I mean, strangely enough, as a baby, as a child, toddler, I didn't eat anything. My mom loves reminding me of that. And now yes, I love food. I do love mushrooms. My children don't like mushrooms, and it really upsets me.
I think that's a good lesson for any parent out there that's freaking out about a picky child. You know, they
Yeah,
could still grow up to be a foodie, so you never know.
yeah, definitely.
I think with something like mushrooms, it's maybe you have to be a little bit more sort of grown up to really appreciate the weirdness of some of the flavors. Maybe it'll come. Um, and also,
Maybe,
do
I
you
hope so.
have you ever picked mushrooms with your kids? I haven't, but I'm
No,
too scared.
I used to do that with my mom and dad, actually. I mean, we live in London. I have looked at where we could go mushroom picking, but I don't think there's anywhere you'd be able to really pick mushrooms. But I did used to do that with my parents when I was little, and I really
Mm.
loved doing that.
Yeah, it's quite a big thing in Germany. I haven't
Oh,
done it
picking.
because yeah, there's a
Oh,
whole yeah, there's a big scene around it, which makes a lot of sense because there's so much incredible woodland
of
to
course. Yeah,
explore,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, no,
so it's
totally.
logical. But
But
so
you haven't done it.
no, I just feel a bit too scared. I mean, I'm a Londoner. I was born and raised in London and lived there my whole life, and no part of my experience growing up really had anything to do with mushrooms. You know what I mean? Just wasn't part of my life experience. So when um, when I got to know people who didn't grow up in such an urban space, and I started to understand that, you know, connection to food was a bit different as a result. Yeah, but I think you just have to know your stuff in case you pick something you shouldn't.
Of course, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely you need to get a sense of what you can pick and what you can't pick
Yeah.
for sure. Right, so where am I? I might do a
I'm
little
just
one then.
mapping in some really big shapes, and I might just play with layering. I don't even know which mushrooms I'm looking at now. So, for anyone watching who's not sure, we are working from the same references because all of my members will have access to the same images. Um, so, if you are here from the community, I hope you're drawing along. Um, and yeah, let me just try and go in now with a bit of layering. Excuse me. Fill a
What?
page. Yeah.
So I'm gonna start folding. So I've done three mushrooms are kind of in the center of my tile. And then I'm gonna start folding so I can
Let's see where
go
you
on the other
are.
side. Ooh.
Oh, I see. So you're drawing over the edge of your fold there.
Yes, yes. So I fold like this.
It's not on screen, so you can sit there.
So that's the way it was. I'm just gonna go here and then
Okay.
do a big one, I think.
Um, I'm just trying to flip between screens so I can see what you're doing. I can see the comments. So if anybody does want to ask any questions, please do, because I am able to see questions coming through. Hello, Cynthia. Hi, Helen. Helen Lenore. It's great to see you, Lenore. Yeah. Good with you for a while. Hello, Rashmi.
Down like this.
So if you've just joined, we're using the same references. Océane is working on a pattern and showing us how she creates a pattern tile in the good old-fashioned analog way.
Yep.
Which I find so helpful. And I was saying earlier that the first time I was demonstrated how to do a zine, a one-page fold-out zine, I was so confused and I had to see it about 3 or 4 times over before I finally got it. And I feel like it's the same sort of thing with this, that you just physically have to do it a few times before you figure it out.
I'm trying to balance it as much as I can, and kind of I want it to be kind of tossed mushrooms. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing the directions of the mushrooms that I'm drawing, so they don't all look like they've been. Well, I don't really want symmetry in this. I kind of want to toss. It's the technical. Well, technical. I think the technical term is a tossed
Oh,
pattern.
okay.
There's loads of different types of patterns,
Yeah.
and the way you can repeat them. That's
Did you take a course focusing on surface pattern design? I hadn't come across these terms before, so it feels as though it's very proper.
Yeah, so I had a when I found out about surface pattern design, I had a Skillshare membership at the time.
Yeah.
I got quite a big discount on 1 year because it is quite expensive.
Yeah.
And I watched as many as I could on surface pattern design. There's quite a lot. I mean, there is big communities out there, big educators on surface pattern.
Yeah.
But I never took a really long proper course. They can be very expensive. So kind of just wanted to kind of do my own, like, kind of, I'm very self-taught in everything I do.
Yeah. I love that.
And yeah, so I've mostly obviously I learned to do it digitally. So I use Procreate on my iPads.
Okay.
And that's really how I learned to make repeat patterns using Procreate. But this one, once it's scanned, I can put it into Photoshop. I'm more of a Photoshop user than
Yeah.
Illustrator. I find Illustrator very difficult I don't know, my brain just doesn't respond well to Illustrator.
I feel like Photoshop does have some really good pattern making kind of aspects to it now anyway. So in a
It
way,
does. Yeah.
it's kind of got everything you need, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I love textures. So for me, Photoshop is definitely better for textures. I don't really like working in vector very much.
Okay. Oh, am I still on screen? Okay. Yeah, looks like I am.
Yeah, they're looking really good.
Yeah, I've been playing with the layering of that. It's just so satisfying when you just put color on top of color. I think that's it really.
I want to go.
So yeah, I think I'm almost there, and I'm kind of excited to see how you get on with your tiling.
Right. I'm gonna open this up. So you can already see. So
Yeah.
you can already see you've got that top mushroom here. It's repeated down there. And so you've got the different, so they're all repeated down there. And if I can just fold it quickly.
I'm not sure I can hear you. Oh, no, I can hear you.
Can you?
I just put myself on mute for a minute because the vacuuming started again. So I can hear you. I just wanted to check.
Okay. All right. So now we are going this way. I'm gonna make a really big one here across so you can really see what's going on. Which one should I make? That big fat one. Where is it?
So if you're watching, this is turning into a little mini masterclass of how to make a pattern towel. This is great.
No pressure then. Right. Big fat top. And then let's go with this. I really like this grey. Um, and then gonna go.
So if anyone has any questions they want to ask, you can type it in the chat now and I'll see them.
And then I'm gonna make it fat, but on the side. Right, like that. You really want to go, so you want to go over um the paper, and I might just change colors for this.
Those colors are so nice. The pink and green is always a good idea, right?
My favorite combo,
Yeah.
pink and green. Does it need, yeah, it needs a little. It looks like he's wearing a little skirt of some sort. Right. And then gonna go plain for underneath.
So will you be able to demonstrate with where you've got to
Yeah, I think so.
how this works?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. So obviously there's some gaps that I will fill later, and then I'll post a photo of it. And
Yeah, and then send me an image as well, because what we
I
can do
will,
is when I
yeah.
post the replay, I can share it all together.
Yeah, so you've
Might be a
got,
couple of days.
yeah, and yeah, so you can see it's repeated. So that big so that big mushroom here that's in the middle, it ends up on the left and then on the right of this.
Yeah.
And then the top mushroom here like the stem will be at the bottom, and then the stem here, you've got the top of the mushroom here.
Great. Oh, that's so
So
simple. That's so
yeah,
simple, but
I
so
mean,
good.
it's really nice. It's just a really nice way to yeah, it's a very simple but effective, right? I
Yeah.
mean, there are gaps which I will fill, but once it's finished, and then you want and then you want to add, little like details to your pattern, so you can, obviously add little dots or even little stars.
Yeah, so you can fill in the gaps in between,
Yeah,
and then it
fill in the
becomes much
gaps
more dense.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's just tiny little details on
Amazing.
added to your pattern. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
That's okay, no problem. Enjoy this.
So I've just flipped back, and I thought I'll just quickly show to the screen where we've got to, and we'll have them together. Da-da-da. Just a quick warm up. Just goes to show that, like, in 20 minutes, you can just take time for yourself, right?
Absolutely. There you go. It's my little
I
animal
love that.
pattern of mushrooms.
Thank you so much for bringing that to the to the live. Love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was lots of fun.
So thank you for everyone who's joined. That makes it like just over half an hour. So we've done really well time wise. And I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing how this project evolves, because we've only really just kicked it off. So if anybody wants to join, please join. You're halfway through the year, but that doesn't mean you're too late. So let me encourage you to join the amazing artists. Orla is here as well. Hi, Orla. Thank you for being here. And yeah, have a great weekend. Thanks again, Océane. And
thank you.
See you next time.
See you soon. Bye.